Stick talk. Stick talk. Stick talk. Stick talk. Stick talk. Stick talk. Stick talk.
And hockey. Yes, sir.
Welcome back, everyone. This is episode 31 of Stick Talk Hockey. I'm your host, Tico. This is my co-host.
I'm yours, Trilly.
And the finals are underway.
Yes, sir.
Man, we had a great game one. It is the Florida Panthers and the Vegas Golden Knights left. What a playoffs it's been.
Man, absolute banger to start the finals.
Yeah.
First 5 minutes were a little stale, but man, they exchanged pleasantries and it was lights out after that.
Dude, it was on. It was on.
You see that Aiden Hill scrum?
Oh, yeah, dude.
Chucking bombs.
Yeah, I know. There's some Florida fans that are pretty upset about that.
I mean, don't push the goalie. I don't know what to tell you.
I lived for it. I loved it.
Fuck around and find out.
Yep.
Touch the goalie. I dare you. Like, I don't know what to tell you. I don't feel bad.
Bob was kind of coming out of his net a little bit, too. I thought maybe. Could you imagine a finals goalie fight?
In game one?
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Already legendary finals. Yeah.
Peak numbers.
Hill had himself a game, too, man.
He did. That paddle stop.
The paddle stop. Can we run that?
Desperation play, Montour in the tic-tac-toe, and just on the heel of his stick as he's sliding back the other way, just somehow able to anchor himself.
Oh, my God.
This is my Don Cherry moment. Kids, follow your rebound.
Shades of the save from the last time Vegas was in the finals in the Washington series. Yeah, the Holtby save. To me, though, that's like foreshadowing of a Vegas win. Personally, like it's in the same net, except this time Vegas did it instead of Washington, who won that year. Might be some foreshadowing there.
You know,
is the script in?
Might be. They didn't let Wes McCauley make a couple of those on ice calls.
Yeah.
They took away his microphone. So
yeah, they did.
The microscopes are out on the league right now.
Yep. No, it was a banger game one. Vegas, like, they just look. They kind of look unbeatable at times.
They do. Like when they get their legs going.
Yeah.
It's just a barrage.
I mean, they're so deep, especially at the end of that Dallas series, like game 6, which was between our last episode and now, like it was a complete blowout from Vegas. And like the fourth line of Vegas was just like bawling.
Oh, for sure. I was going to say, like, the thing about Vegas is that, like, aside from their first line, you can't tell what line's out there if you don't have the sound on. The compete level is the same from the second through to the fourth.
Yeah.
And it's incredible to watch. Like,
it's what we gassed up Seattle about. What I at least gassed Seattle about for so long, and now watching Vegas, I'm like, oh, it's the same, but with more high-end talent.
Exactly. Well, I always kind of was thinking that with Seattle, where it was like, instead of like having a top line, it was just 4 lines of second liners. Which is great, but like, it never tips the needle in my opinion. Whereas like, this is like maybe first, second, and third liners, but the compete is second line level all the way through.
Yeah, exactly.
But there's just like more talent at the top end, and it just cascades down.
Yeah. It's been unbelievable to watch so far, and I'm, I like Florida. I really hope they win, but there's in the finals, it's kind of the time of reckoning when you have teams that come through on miracle runs, which I don't even really believe Florida's a miracle run. Like, actually, that they're a fantastic hockey team, but there's some holes there.
Definitely.
And I think in the finals, that's where you kind of see the weaknesses really bite you.
Yeah, this is going to be a wild take, but you could notice Radko Gudas wasn't there as soon as he left.
Yeah.
He left early from that Aiden Hill scrum.
Yeah.
And he didn't come back.
Yeah.
You noticed it.
Yeah, absolutely.
That extra 6 hits a game, it disrupts everything.
Totally.
And there wasn't the disruption in the cycle in the corner. There wasn't the disruption in the entry into the zone. There wasn't fear. Like, as soon as he was off the ice, Vegas like found another gear.
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
It's like you take a Ferrari out on the highway knowing there's no roadblocks. You know?
Right. Yeah. Yeah, so it was a great game one. This is going to be a hell of a series. My prediction is on Monday, I think that Florida is going to take game 2. I think this is going to go to the distance, but like in game 1, I mean, you had to know Vegas was going to take that, right? Like they're one of the few teams in this league. Like nowadays, it seems like teams seem to play better on the road. We've seen it through the playoffs, the road team winning so many games, but Vegas, for some reason, they get jacked up behind that crowd.
How can you not though? Like,
yeah.
It's such a like, and this is like, I always go back to this and what the NHL needs to do more, but like they've just tapped into the local scene so much and the culture.
Yeah, absolutely.
And they've made it exciting. The casino sounds whenever there's a goal, there's just
the
so much
pregame like night battles on the ice and stuff.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like the whole shebang, top to bottom, start to finish, is just like a show. Like
totally.
They really go and ball out, and it's hard to not invest yourself from the second the puck drops when you have that going on around you.
100%, man. Some people think it's corny. I think it's a lot of fun, and they do a great job there, I think.
Absolutely, and they embody what hockey in a desert should be.
Yeah, absolutely. Couple things I wanted to touch on. First of all, Eric Stahl opens the scoring with a shorthanded goal. Just as we all predicted.
I mean, I predicted shorthanded goals from Florida, but that was not my culprit.
No. I thought that was really funny. Anyone who had like first goal scorer got screwed on that for sure.
For sure. Yeah, that's not even a line I would ever bet on.
No. Also, Riley Smith puts one home.
Empty netter, but
yeah, I mean, but hey, it's on the board. It's on the board. Now he has 4 goals in the 6 Stanley Cup final games he's played in. Florida traded him to the Knights for a 4th-round pick.
Youch.
Yeah, it's got to hurt a little bit.
I mean, not anymore. Not if you're Riley Smith.
No, not if you're Riley Smith. Yeah,
I've been to Vegas. It's pretty sweet over there. I can imagine it's much sweeter when you got Riley Smith money.
That's very fair. I mean, the boys seem to love Florida as well. That's a decent trade to go from one to the other.
Yeah, I mean, sunny to sunny.
Yeah.
You get to cool off in the rink every day.
Mm-hmm.
Hit the cold shower, hit the ice bath, throw on your flippy floppies, and you're back in the sun, baby.
Real quick, what do you think you would prefer, like climate-wise? Do you think that you'd work better and harder in a cold climate, or like a moderate or a hot climate?
Hot. I would do exceedingly well in like a hotter climate.
Would you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would give me like incentive to get out of like the sun.
Okay, that's fair.
You know, because like you can only stay in 30-degree heat for so long.
Yeah.
And like it's so hot in the morning anyways. So like, morning skate wouldn't be a chore if I don't have to like, scrape my windows every day and like shovel my driveway every 3rd day. And like, there's so much more auxiliary stuff that comes with being in a cold climate.
Right.
And having to get to work in a cold climate. Like, your steering wheel's frozen, your hands hurt, your face hurts.
Yeah.
And in like some of these places like Edmonton and Winnipeg, like for all of our American listeners who don't know this, but like it's exceedingly cold. It's so cold that your scarf freezes to your face. If you have a beard, then you're like pulling hairs out to get the scarf off your face, or you have to wait for it to defrost.
Yeah.
Your snot turns into icicles.
Yeah.
Like, granted, these guys are rich, so I doubt that they like are in that cold that long.
No.
But that is a reality in these like types of provinces.
Yeah, and if you want to go for a run or go golfing,
treadmill.
Rip, buddy. Yeah.
Treadmill or simulator.
I don't think I could do the hot because I'd just like I'd want to like just hang out outside because I'd like to run and golf and stuff like that, and the heat's a little too much for me. I think I like the temperate stuff. Like I think I could do well in like Seattle, Vancouver, where we live, obviously, or like even like Colorado.
Yeah.
Stuff like that,
Yeah, fair enough.
Florida, I think would be. I'd get lazy in Florida, man.
You're a big beach guy though. You like your vacations.
I love the beach. I do love the beach.
I'm not a beach guy. I hate sand.
Yeah. Valid. Okay, moving on. Jamie Benn.
What a bum.
Sucks.
Absolutely.
Shocker.
He's gonna beat us up. He's gonna come home for the off season and it's like, who are these stick talk guys?
I'll see you at Bear Mountain, pal. Just kidding. Jamie Benn would kick the shit out of me, and that's fine. I got no problem with that.
We'll settle it on the golf course.
So yeah, I mean Dallas goes down 3-0. Jamie Benn gets suspended for 2 games. They win both those games. He comes back. They get absolutely dummied 6-0.
I saw it coming.
That's amazing.
It's like poetry.
It rhymes.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I thought that was fantastic. Jamie Benn is not the captain you need. And I think this might also be a cautionary tale for the retool.
I agree. And I was going to say Jamie Benn draws like parallels, and this is going to sound disrespectful as hell, such a hater statement, but like,
okay.
Jamie Benn is like my direct parallel in the league for Jamie Benn is Miles Wood. And I would, because they're both just like giraffes on skates.
Okay.
They just go wherever they go. They do whatever they please. They take more penalties than they score.
Yeah.
They're just shit disturbers, but they're never really like a core emotion guy. Like, you know,
right.
They're good for the locker room, I guess. The guys can tolerate them, but at the same time, they're kind of like, you know, like if we lost this guy, I wouldn't be hurt about it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's not who you want as a captain. Like, never in my life would I be like Miles Wood as a captain.
Should have given the seat to Pavelski.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or
it's like without a doubt. Like,
who do you? Real question: who do you think gets it next after Jamie Benn retires? Because I mean, you have Rupe Hintz, you have Miro Heiskanen, you have Jason Robertson. Who would be your pick for that?
That's tough. I'm not in their locker room all the time, but
yeah, totally.
I mean, like Robertson seems to have a really good temp check on the room all the time. He seems to like be able to speak for the boys a lot of the time when he's in the media, whereas like, you know, Hintz is a little bit more reserved. He's a little bit more of like a quieter guy. I feel like if they like, because being a captain, as much as it's about being a leader in the locker room, like teams also kind of look at it as like a marketing tool at this point, and like
100%,
like
100%.
You want that, like if you were to equate it to like the WWE, you want like the baby face,
right,
with the captaincy,
right?
Like Nico Hischier took the seat, right?
Yeah,
and
someone that can handle like the media really well and be just a nice face for the organization, right?
Exactly, and I'm sure that like they'll probably move an A or swap the C around at some point to Hughes. Even like I'm sure that there's going to be some sort of a shuffle around.
He has an A, right?
I think he does now, yeah. And I mean, Hischier does amazing as a captain, but like if Hischier wasn't there, then it would just be for sure Hughes. Like there's no doubt about it.
Yeah,
that's like the epitome of what you would want your captain to be.
And there's something too about like your most offensive guy not being the captain. Like just let him ball out and stunt on people and take the risks.
Yeah.
And have your two-way guy be the voice of reason.
Yeah, and he wasn't like quite developed yet. Like he fully developed his two-way game, and his scoring is going to either stay the same or improve. But that's fine.
Yeah.
But you wanted to not have that kind of pressure on Hughes yet and just let him find that, 99-point season.
Right.
Because he wasn't there yet.
Yeah.
But now he's worn a letter. He's had 99 points. He can probably find a spot in leadership much easier, much more comfortably if it does ever come up.
Yeah, you don't want to give it to guys that, are still trying to find their game, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you want to let them figure that out first. And I think with the captaincy and with letters in general, it seems like a lot of teams almost use it to push their players. They'll take a guy and go, okay, will he get better if we give him this task, right?
Yes.
Like, is that a challenge that that will make him a more complete player? Or will it be something that's just like an annoyance, talking to the media every day and yada, 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 right?
Yeah.
I think that a lot of teams like really do look at that as like, okay, this player's already here. If we give him this letter, will that move him to here? Right?
Yeah. I think a good example of that is Barkov.
Honestly. Absolutely.
Like, I think he really grew under the sea.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like that's a guy who always had great leadership quality, but he was always working next to guys who were just already that, and you're not going to step on anyone's toes and do that. But having a little bit of a new environment, having some new guys under the flagship, having a whole bunch of different things going on in this like retool, if you will, they gave him that task and he stepped up fully.
Yeah,
I think he's embodied like exactly what you would want from a two-way captain, much like I'd say better than Hischier, to be honest. Like,
right.
That's from a Devils fan. Like he's just so good.
I quite like Nico Hischier and I quite like Devils, but yeah. take a Barkov all day now.
Barkov's icy cold. Like he sure gets rattled. He gets a little frazzled.
Yeah.
And sometimes he comes into those conversations yelling, and it's like you're gonna lose that conversation.
Yeah.
But Barkov always just seems like so
level.
Yeah, I don't know what it is. This guy's like made of stone.
With you mentioned retool there. I do think that I was kind of eating my words a little bit on retools with Dallas being as good as they were. But I think now we've seen it. We've seen it. The best possible case scenario of a retool is the Dallas Stars right now, right? Truly. You have these guys that, they got old, they got overpaid, but now they're still contributing. You got the new draft class coming in of absolutely elite talent. But you still have middle six players in Jamie Benn, Tyler Seguin, making ridiculous amounts of money.
An ass load of money.
And we've seen now the peak of that, which is getting absolutely stunted on in Game 6 of the conference finals, not the finals.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even necessarily hate this retool. I think that it's still a year out. Like, retools don't just happen overnight even. Like, a retool is just like knocking 3 years off a rebuild, right? Like, you're still not going to be immediately successful out of it. It's pretty amazing if you are, I would say.
Well, this is already like year 4 of the retool, though.
Yeah, I mean, they should have just torn it down. But
exactly.
That's more just overestimating your own assets. Like, they should have looked at their core 4 back when they didn't do it and been like, we can move Ben now and get a lot for it.
Show me the retool team that won a cup. Don't happen.
Tampa Bay.
When did they retool?
Between their 18 and 21, they like had their entire bottom 6 swap out, basically. They lost Johnson. They lost a whole bunch of names that they lost.
I mean, that's
from
every
the first
team,
cup
though.
run.
That's every team.
Yeah, but I mean, like,
that's not retooling. Retooling is when you like actually try and like do a mini tank and rebuild, right? But like without leaving the top guys out of it.
Yeah, maybe Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh probably closest, but again, like they were going for it every single year. There was no retool there.
That's true.
They just weren't getting there every single year.
Yeah, they were just cheek sometimes and hauled in on like the 6th spot, but
yeah, but like they were gunning every year. That was a cup team. They were going for it every year. Same with Tampa. There was no, we'll keep these guys, but we're gonna take a year or two here and try and restock the cupboards and then go back for it and no. That's which is what Dallas has done. It's what the Canucks tried to do. It's what Calgary tried to do, and Minnesota, and it's gone really, really horrendously for all of those teams.
Yep.
Dallas is your best case scenario out of the retool.
I mean, Florida is still a retool, essentially, are they not? They lost like 2 of their top 4 and swapped them around in getting releasing Huberdeau and Weegar in that Calgary trade and then bringing in Tkachuk and...
I don't think Florida saw that as a step back trade, though, and they were right.
Fair.
They saw that as, okay, we can trade this guy that's going to be way too expensive for a guy who's going to be just as expensive but is much better and much younger. And our defense is good enough without Weegar, and they were right.
Yeah, I mean, very fair, but...
Like, I don't think they were trying to take a step back with that trade.
No, but I don't think, like, you're ever trying to take, like, a true step back when you retool. I think a retool is usually decided, like, halfway through a season when shit just goes tits up.
Do you?
Kind of, yeah. I've never like seen a team willingly go into a season being like, we're going to be ass this year, but it's all going to be like lights out next year. Because you won't sell tickets. And also like you won't have players.
Well, they're not going to say it publicly,
hockey.
right? But teams definitely do make moves that are future oriented through a season.
Yeah, but I think that's like more practiced in like the bottom like basement teams, like like the stuff we're seeing like the Coyotes do, for example, where they're like legitimately filling half of their team with AHL replacement players.
Right.
And they're like, oh, we're losing. Oh, shucks. Who would have seen it coming? And it's like,
yeah.
Everyone. You have 30 mil in LTIR so that you can dress these players and pay them pennies.
Well, like the Caps are an example to me of a team that's like they're retooling. Yeah, they decided it because they've been terrible through this year, but they clearly are making moves that are just step back moves, right? Like trading players for first round picks, stuff like that. But they're still going to try and go for it here before Ovi's done, and it's not going to work.
Yeah, you know what I think the big issue with a lot of the retools in the NHL is?
What's that?
Is that it has to be like a ballsy move that no one sees coming. Like, I think that if you're a team that says we're retooling and everyone's like, whoa, it's too early, I think that's when you're doing it right. Because all of these teams are waiting until they're like, all of their star players are in their quote unquote glory years and they want to give it one more hurrah, but they don't have enough time to do that.
Assets at that point.
Right? It's something that you should have been thinking about after like the first or second cup where you're like, okay, do you want to do a glory years run? Because if you do, we need to take a step back for these 3 years.
Trill, that's the most facts I've ever heard you spit on this podcast. That's completely correct. Every single retool starts way too late, and that's why it doesn't work.
Yeah. Like, because
completely agree.
I believe retools can work. I actually do think that there's a lot of great teams that could have retooled earlier, and we could have seen another dynasty type cup run from them.
Yeah,
I think the Caps are a prime example, but now they just have not enough.
Right.
And by the time what they collected for what they have, Ovechkin's going to be out, and you're not going to have that. So, like,
or he's going to be 41 years old.
Exactly, and you're not going to be able to. You're just going to be back to square one.
Yeah. No, I completely agree with that.
I think a lot of teams are just too scared to have honest conversations with some of their star players sometimes and have those hard talks where it's like, hey, how much longer do you think you realistically have that will be of value?
Well, players don't know, though. They always think they'll be good longer than they are.
Of course, but like you can always like mitigate that and be like, oh, you think 8, so we'll say 6.
Yeah, you have to have those conversations with yourself and with your staff.
Exactly, but like I think they're not conversations that are addressed like nearly soon enough. I think that teams just like are too busy looking at the flowers.
Yeah,
and not smelling what they're shoveling.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, couple more things on the finals really quick. No more finals patches on the ice. Awful.
I hate it.
Awful. It's a classic look. It just screams like class and final.
Yep, it's just like what you play to be under the special ice paint, the big lights, and how good does it look whenever you're going through the archives of footage, and all of a sudden like you know right away that you're watching a playoff highlight. Yeah. It says it right there on both ends of the ice.
It's terrible. It makes me very sad, and just as sad is the fact that the finals patch is right beside the letters on the left side.
Don't even get me started.
What are we doing here?
It's so cluttered.
What are we doing here?
Like,
if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It wasn't broke, but you still fixed it.
Yeah, congratulations. Like, tell me what you made. Show me the numbers of what you made off the jersey revenue to justify this move. And if it isn't in the 6-figure range,
yeah,
I'm gonna scream. I'm gonna lose my goddamn mind if you tell me you made this decision for $50K.
I hate it. I hate everything about it. We were just talking about this. If I get a Chucky jersey, which I've been thinking about, yeah, I'm taking that ad off and I'm putting it where it belongs.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I don't care about accuracy. It looks horrendous.
It's way too cluttered, and I don't know, it kind of sullies both patches at the same time.
Yeah.
Like being a captain is a huge honor. It's a big deal. There's only one per team. Mm-hmm. It's a really big deal to get the captaincy. More so than like we like to even like touch on. I mean, we just did a whole segment on it, but it's the only segment we've done on it all year. We've gone all year without talking about how important captains are really. And captaining a team to the finals is a whole other thing. And the patch itself is special and should be celebrated and stand alone.
Yeah.
Bruh, like you're telling me you couldn't find anywhere else for these ads to go? Run them along the bottom of the jersey. I play in a men's league where we have like 10 different jersey sponsors and they don't look this bad or cluttered. They look really good.
That's actually something I thought as well, is that like around the bottom would look much more unobtrusive.
And it would get just as much like ice time and camera angle. Like if you really think about it, a lot of these ads that they like compromise the jersey for to throw on, you don't see them.
Yeah.
The players are bent over. And more often than not, if you're watching from the top angle or the sideboard angles, you're getting their side profile and their back.
Right.
As they drive the net.
Yeah,
Very rarely...
in play, I agree with you, but like I know for sure because like when we're doing these thumbnails, like for these podcasts, I'm grabbing pictures of players, and all of the photos that are like of a player of their face and stuff, you do get the ad in it, and that's where their brain is on that.
I guess it makes sense if you're like going for like the release, and the big photo op.
Mm-hmm.
But just in practicality, like you see so much more of like the player's ass throughout the game than you ever see their chest.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Like, I don't know. It just looks terrible. And the ads like blend into the jerseys anyways. I'd be pissed if I paid for these ads because you can't read them.
I know.
Like,
yeah, it's awful.
It's bad on both ends.
All right, moving out of the NHL right now. Latvia comes third in the IIHF Worlds. First medal ever.
I love this.
It's awesome, man. We're gonna peep that. Let's run the overtime goal here.
I love hockey, man.
Gets the move on Gauthier, works it back, a chance for who scores? Christian Rubens, overtime winner. Latvia takes the run.
Let's go. Oh my God, the building just erupts.
Building was rocking.
The hardest celly ever.
Beating the Americans.
Dude screamed so hard he almost screamed himself out of his skates.
Yeah, dude. What a moment for Latvia out there. What a moment for hockey. That's how you grow the game right there. That was fantastic.
Miracle on ice? Question mark? Question mark? Question mark?
Yeah, for them, yeah.
American fans, let us know how you feel about that in the comments down below. Was this better than your miracle? Some would say it was.
Yeah, I mean, it was for bronze, so it's not the same.
It's kind of the same.
But it's kind of the same.
First medal in a country's history.
Yeah.
That's like I was the first team that the worst team in my league beat.
Yeah.
That hurt.
Yeah, how'd that feel?
It felt real bad.
Yeah, I bet it
I'm
did.
wearing it forever.
I can see it in your eyes right now.
Yeah,
you're wearing that.
I still
in your soul.
Yeah, it just eats me alive a little bit.
Yeah, I bet.
So,
no, so that was awesome though. Shout out to Latvia. Shout out to Archer Seelovs. Yeah, let's go.
Yeah, taking down the big bad states.
The big boys.
That's no slouch effort. No. That's huge.
Yeah, absolutely. Back into the NHL.
Yes.
Toronto Maple Leafs have brought on Brad Treliving.
Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Because they, that's basically what Shanahan said.
Why? Because he's like used to being talked over and like having his relevancy in the organization ignored,
stepped on.
Yeah, just getting like constantly like roadblocked,
undermined.
Yeah, who's the number one guy we can bring in that won't put up a stink every time we tell him no, even though he's the guy running the ship?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's a really interesting one because Brad Treliving, I know that he doesn't have like an awful history. Like this isn't like bringing in Chiarelli. It's not like bringing in Jim Benning.
No.
But he hasn't impressed me in Calgary much either, to be honest. He's signed a lot of players to big, long contracts that he didn't even get to see out. You know what I mean? Like the place Calgary's going to be in, unless something really spectacular happens, they're going to be really bad really soon.
Oh, yeah.
And, Treliving doesn't even get to ride that out.
I love Blake Coleman, but that contract looks like
Blake Coleman's contract is, no bueno. Kadri's is going to age horribly. Huberdeau's is going to age horribly.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a miracle that Chris Tanev has aged as well as it has.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? No, I did not think that he would be kind of worth his money at this point. Most people didn't.
There's something special about those Tanev boys,
there is.
They're like the fourth line Sedins.
Yeah. Like now, like in retrospect, I really wish that the Canucks had signed Chris Tanev to that contract. But at the time, I was like, yeah, dude, he plays like 30 games a year. You can't give him 6 per year for 6 more years, right?
No.
Made me eat my words a little bit, but like that's not a contract I commend Brad Treliving for signing.
It's still not a good contract.
No.
It's still gonna age horribly. It's not gonna do great. Like
it's like the Bobrovsky one for me, where it's like, okay, yeah, you're lucky as hell that it's working out for you right now, but that doesn't make it a good contract.
Yeah, it doesn't make you a genius.
Yeah, exactly.
It just makes you a genius by happenstance.
yeah. So I don't know what the Leafs are doing.
The guy who lost Johnny Gaudreau.
Yeah, exactly.
And Matthew Tkachuk on the re-sign years for 0 assets. Literally just let them.
You got Huberdeau and Uyghur.
Okay, well, yeah, but I mean, like the other guy just like walked and told him to pound sand. Like I don't know, this guy's not like the best with asset management. It's been shown through and through, and you're gonna bring him into the most key years of asset management.
Yeah,
when your literal like core 4 superstar bunch.
Yeah.
Is ready to walk out the door.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, I know.
I don't think a single one of these guys are truly committed to the idea of Toronto. I think they're about as committed to the idea of Toronto as Kyle Dubas is.
Yeah.
Like on paper, they're committed to Toronto.
Right.
But in principle, they don't give a shit. They just want to win, and they want to make money, and they want to have fun playing hockey. Like,
of course.
Send me to a winning team. I don't care.
Yeah, so I mean, it's gonna be really interesting to see. I think I'm riding with my guns here on he's not gonna make any massive moves to the core 4. However, this is the guy that did just trade Matthew Tkachuk for Jonathan Huberdeau.
I mean, it looked pretty smart at the time. He also got Uyghur out of it, so like
yeah. So I mean, like maybe he's. Although I was about to say maybe he's more open to the idea. However, he was kind of handcuffed into doing that. And it went terribly for them.
Yeah, I mean, he really made the best of a bad situation, though, because, like, at least with that one player in particular.
Well, I think, personally, I think they should have, like, just gone for picks or something.
Yeah.
Rather than bringing back a player you have to give $11 million a year to.
Fired the coach and actually hit the re-sign button.
Well, that would have been nice, huh?
It's just an idea, but I don't know. History's 2020.
Speaking of Johnny Gaudreau, he's got himself a new coach. Looks like
he's in for a wild ride.
Looks like, based on if the rumors are true, we're hearing through the industry that Mike Babcock is going to be the next head coach of the Columbus Blue Jackets.
Oh man, buckle up!
Why? The Blue Jackets just looked and were like, well, it worked under Tortorella. So let's bring in another asshole.
I'm excited for all of these post-game press conferences.
Dude, how much is Gaudreau regretting his life right now?
Man.
Like, maybe it's better than Calgary, but, like, you're in Columbus forever now with Mike Babcock as your coach and you're a basement team. Ouch.
Yeah, and yeah. I don't know. That's not worth $10 million to me. I'll take 8 elsewhere.
I was about to say he could have gone to Philly. Philly wanted him, but I mean, then you're in Philly under Tortorella. Not much better, but
yeah.
Not much worse either.
He had a couple options that weren't terrible, though. Like, he wasn't looking at just basement teams. Everyone was kind of like...
The Devils were in on him.
Thank God we didn't, though.
Yeah.
Like,
I like the Devils right now, and I wouldn't if they had Johnny Hockey.
Me too. I would have lost my... Yeah. There's absolutely... I would lose my mind.
Yeah. So I don't know. Babcock, I mean, sure, maybe he's taken some big steps to progress himself.
He's gotten some therapy.
Yeah, but like
start meditating.
Do we believe that?
No. No. Jesus.
I'll have to see for myself because
this man subs sugar for thumbtacks in his coffee. Like he eats the ceramic cup when he's done drinking his coffee. Like
Yeah, no, I don't buy it. That's probably gonna go terribly. The Jackets, I mean, hey, the Jackets do like they have done the rebuild pretty well. Like I think that even though they signed their star way too early in Gaudreau, they have a lot of prospects in the pipeline. And they're probably just gonna ruin them all with Mike Babcock.
You hate to see it, but
you hate to see
you
it.
kind of love to see it because I hate the Blue Jackets, man. I always have.
I always just forget about them. Like they're just dust. They just live out in Ohio and they just have ugly jerseys and they're just a dusty team. With Laine, who like remember how much hype Patrick Laine had?
Yeah. And then the Jets ruined it.
What's his highest scoring season? Like does he only have like I think it's like 60 points or something? 70-point season is rookie year, no?
Yeah.
Or second year? Sophomore year.
Sophomore, yeah.
This is your hero?
This is your night. Yeah, I don't know about that.
I mean, he had 44 goals that year, but he hasn't played a full season since then, pretty much.
Laine's always just like been an issue, though.
Yeah,
like he's just not committed.
No, but and when he's on, he looks like an absolute monster, but he just doesn't. Maybe that's why they're bringing in Babcock. And guess what? It won't work.
Yeah, I don't know. Guys like this, like you can yell at them all you want. It's not going to change anything. Like at a certain point, they're just that way.
Usually you do need more of a player's coach with those guys to work with them.
Yeah, like yelling isn't going to change anything. They're already like at like a...
Well, that's what the talk was about Ovi for a long time too. Who brought the best out of Ovi? Bruce Boudreau.
Yeah, I think you need someone to embrace who they are, but also like want them to do better, like a father figure type coach.
Exactly.
Yeah,
not just the yeller.
Yeah. I get both. I appreciate both.
Totally.
But yeah, I don't know. I feel like the Jackets are a team that need like soft love right now. They're in for a couple rough years anyways. Yelling at them's not going to make it better. It's just going to piss everyone off.
That's the thing. I never get hiring like this flavor of coach, like the Tortorella, the Babcock, the
Sutter.
Yeah, the Sutters for like young rebuilding teams. Like, it just doesn't make any sense to me. Like, what are you gonna have a hard ass in there yelling at a roster for being shitty roster?
Yeah, like I don't know what you want.
You bring those guys in for a team that's through the rebuild and needs to be pushed over the edge.
Yeah, and why wouldn't you bring in a guy like John Haynes?
Great question.
Like Nashville's already letting him go. They went on the record of like letting him interview with like New York and like two other teams. So like that's like he's not a great coach. He's not going to win you a cup, but like he's exactly what you need to develop the players you have. Like Taylor Hall said that was the best coach he ever had, and it brought the Hart season out of him.
There you go.
Isn't that not what you need? Like Taylor Hall is the ultimate like epitome of just like disconnect from upper management and execution. Like he was always good enough, but we were always like, where is that though? Like where's that consistency?
Yeah.
And John Haynes somehow brought it out of him.
There you go.
Like that's a great coach for that position.
Keeping on coaches, but kind of moving on. Mr. Joel Quenneville, and Stan Bowman both asking for meetings with Gary Bettman after the season to see if they can get reinstated in their positions, I imagine, or have a way back into the league somehow. And how about this, pal? Stay the fuck away from my league.
Yeah, no.
Fuck both y'all.
We already had a meeting about this, Joel.
Mm-hmm.
What do you need a second one for? Are you dumb, stupid, or dumb, or deaf? Do we need like someone to get in there and sign it to you?
Neither should be allowed back into the NHL. And it'll be a travesty if they are. I hate it.
It's disgusting. If this goes through and it works, then this is like the exact thing I was talking about in the group chat with the old boys club.
Yeah, of course. Like I don't want to shit on the NHL too much about it until something happens. Because I mean, hey, a meeting's a meeting. Yeah, you can. I hope they do have a meeting. And Gary says pound sand, but I also have no faith in him. Hopefully, nothing goes that way.
Yeah, I mean, they had a meeting last time, and I'm pretty sure Gary Bettman's almost exact words are like, where you haven't done enough and you haven't put in any work to show that you are deserving of being reinstated.
Right.
Like, you basically said there's not enough evidence here to show that you're even remorseful or cared to fix your actions.
Totally.
Like, time doesn't fix everything, my dude. You have to do some of that yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
And you haven't done anything. And the Blackhawks haven't been punished nearly enough.
No.
And none of these guys
They
have been
were
held,
just gifted a generational talent.
and none of these guys were even like really like they lost their job, but like so
a couple 60-year-olds that are already multimillionaires got told to go hang out in Florida and golf for a couple years. Yeah, tough life there, pal.
Yeah, really. And like, what, they didn't even get their name removed from the cup?
Nope.
Like,
yeah, terrible.
I don't know about
hate
that, man. That's gross.
Stay out the league. I have faith in the people, though. Hopefully, if the NHL fails at this, I hope they get booed in every single NHL stadium they show up in.
Amen.
Yeah.
Amen. I hope that there's just the most ravenous of signs.
Yeah.
I can't wait for that.
Now, we'll touch on another one as well. Another guy who's going to be having a meeting with Gary Bettman.
Yeah.
Logan Mailloux.
Yep.
Logan Mailloux is a prospect for the Montreal Canadiens. And a little while ago, he made a really bad decision, sharing some photos of some sex he was having with a woman with his teammates. Not good. He then asked the league not to draft him. He asked all the teams not to draft him. And the Habs still did, which, just Habs things, Bergevin things.
It's not shocking.
Not shocking at all.
That's what the Habs do.
But since then, he did get charged in a Swedish court. He has been going through a couple programs, rehabilitation programs, I suppose, with the Montreal Canadiens. And it looks like he's going to be trying to get his shot back into the league. And you know what? With Mailloux, I think at this point, it seems like he has done enough to warrant coming back.
Yeah, I mean, there's like a very clear difference between like the two types of cases we're talking about here. Like, they're not even really comparable. Like,
no,
one's a young kid that made a dumb mistake in like a moment, and it like will stick with him for the rest of his life, which sucks. But he's also putting in a lot of work to do better and to be better, and did his time for it. And he's been held responsible, but he's also held himself responsible and gone to the. Sometimes they're not, but a lot of them are quote unquote optional programs,
right? That
you can sign up for or undertake that would help change how people view your whatever in the legal system. At least that's my understanding of it. He's doing the work and he's putting in the effort, and Quenneville's not. Yeah, none of these other guys are. Like, they're just waiting for things to get quiet before they do anything. This is someone who's actually showing remorse and.
And also, like, we cannot compare these two cases as they are either. Like, I mean, sharing a photo unconsensually is bad, of course.
Big time bad.
You would not want that to happen to you or to anyone else that you know or anything, right? You can't do that.
Yep.
But let's not equivalate that to covering up rape.
Facts. And, like, the mistreatment and further sexual assault of countless minors through, like, the Hockey USA program.
Yeah. Like,
or whatever minor league team he was signed to in Hockey USA.
Yeah, it's crazy to me that, like, this guy has done way more work than Bowman and Quenneville.
Yeah, and shows like he's what, 18, 20? How old is he now?
He just turned 20.
He just turned 20. Okay, yeah. Like the gap in maturity and willingness to just be accountable.
Yeah.
Like, I find it pretty damning that a coach who would like stand in front of a room of like 25 guys and shout accountability at the top of his lungs is also the same guy that we're having this conversation about right now.
100% true.
Like,
yeah, 100%.
Yeah, I don't know. I it's up to the league, but like if they reinstated him, even with like probationary terms.
Yeah.
That sounds fair.
That sounds fair to
fine.
me.
Like, you know what? Like, sure, like maybe not enough time has passed, or you want to make sure that like things are like fine, but like I don't see any reason to drag this out to, for like I don't see a reason to.
Yeah, if I agree with that.
If the court's already sealed it and he's done his time and he's served and all parties are spoken for, then
no.
Move forward. Second chances are to be earned, but they should exist. Like, there's a reason they're around.
Second chances, absolutely. I believe in second chances, as assuming that you've put the work to earn your second chance.
Absolutely. Yeah, exactly. That's what I said in a players meeting actually this week.
There you go. All right. One more. The Valeri Nichushkin incident. This is another one. I think this is the last time we're going to talk about this one because it's all been so vague. I don't think we're going to really get more details. But the body cam footage did come out this week, showing kind of the police altercations or interactions, I guess, with the team staff and the woman and all that. Daly says there's no NHL investigation, there was no team investigation, and there's no police investigation. So I think we can kind of put to bed the rumors that there was something criminal happening here. You know, he was found super intoxicated in the room with this woman who was also super intoxicated, and you know, it's being reported that she might have been trafficked. But I mean, it's tough to say. But like, I mean, a lot of prostitutes are being trafficked, right?
Yeah,
it's probably not something of Valeri Nichushkin's doing.
I don't think he has the time for it, but
yeah,
that's neither here nor there.
Well, yeah, I mean, as a full-time NHL player, yeah.
Like you hear about like guys from like Drake's camp.
Yeah, yeah.
Like being involved in that kind of stuff. And it's like, well, yeah, but they just hang out with a rapper. Like they don't do much in the studio when you're just hanging out with a rapper. You can probably like, you know, facilitate some some dark web crime or whatever. But this guy has practice at like, he has to wake up at 5, he has to be at practice at 7, he has to ride a bike at 9, he has to do like cardiograms at 10, he has to go and eat lunch, and then he has to go back for another skate, and then he has strength and conditioning, then he has yoga probably, then he has to go home to his wife if she's still around. Sorry.
Well,
maybe and
that's the thing, right? Like, I hope this woman's all right, and same with Nichushkin here, because I mean, he was taken, you know, he wasn't allowed to play for the team because I mean it was hours, just a few hours before game time that this all happened, and he was super intoxicated. So was the woman, and I mean he's got a wife. Like something ain't good there.
Yeah, that's down bad.
Yeah,
it's shades of reminds me a lot of like Jeff Hardy and like the story of when he was at TNA and he showed up like super perked out and had to have his match like basically canceled in the ring with Sting, and like it was a mess. It was so hard to watch. Like the same kind of thing, you know, like addiction's a hell of a thing. Substance abuse is a hell of a thing.
It is, yeah.
And you know, you never know what someone's going through. Just because they're like fully functioning on a hockey team doesn't mean that they're, you know, not going through it in the background in some way.
Yeah, exactly. So I hope the best for everyone involved.
Yeah, I hope the young lady involved is all right, and they're doing everything they can to get her back on her feet and safe and away from all of this horrendous stuff.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like human trafficking, so vile, it's so disgusting. It breaks my heart.
Yeah.
And yeah, I hope that Vlad also gets the help that he needs. I don't think he did anything criminal. I think that he probably just got caught with a hooker and had a wife and decided to run away because he didn't want to have a bunch of pictures of him on TMZ News the next day of him being escorted out of a hotel by the police with a drunk and drugged hooker.
Yeah.
And fair.
I mean, hey, yeah, I get that.
Yeah, I would, you know, if you're that big, you probably don't want that picture resurfacing. You're probably going to throw a jacket over your head and be like, I'm leaving.
No. Yeah. No. All right. Last two things really quick. Salary cap going up $1 million.
Wow.
Or less.
Thanks, Monopoly Man.
Who could have called this?
Pass go, collect $200.
Yeah. Yeah.
You ever notice Monopoly doesn't like account for inflation at all?
It doesn't. It's kind of a joke, eh?
Yeah. What?
That's actually intriguing.
This is I'm drawing parallels here.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, so that is what it is. That's kind of what we expected, regardless of Gary's word vomit the entire year. Yeah, that's fine. And finally, my favorite quote from this week was Gary Bettman talking about all the different countries that the finals will be broadcasted in this year. That is fantastic. The game is bigger than ever. He says it will be played in, quote, 250 countries.
Oh, boy.
Gary.
Tell me more.
Gary, where did you find 55 new countries?
Hero. Get this man a medal. He's found the new world.
Where did you find them?
He found the passage.
He might be a lizard man. Maybe
you
he
can say
knows
that anymore.
Maybe he knows where the interdimensional beings are.
He might have found the lost city of Atlantis. He
That's
might
true.
have like a third portal that he just pops through. The Phoenix play isn't even about the team. It's about protecting his like Area 51 styled like portal where he just transports through to all these other countries.
So yeah, that's great.
Gary Bettman looks like he would be in Men in Black.
Yes, he
like
does.
This man definitely walks around with a flash pen just ruining people's lives.
Yep. Absolutely. Okay, so yeah, so next week when we come back, we'll be right in game 4, right in the meat of a series when we come back next week. It should be awesome.
Yeah, I'm excited. The
Yeah.
series has been everything I hoped it would be right off the bat.
Yeah.
Every team, like it played out exactly how I thought as well. Like it's literally just strengths versus weaknesses and
Yep.
who's got more of them.
Yeah.
And who hits it better. Like Florida immediately scores a shorthanded goal, called it,
Mhm.
boom, dinger.
Dinger.
They let loose like 3 breakaways. It bit him in the ass once, boom, dinger.
Yeah.
Like you got to do better on both fronts.
Yeah.
You got to acknowledge that these teams are here for a reason, and you're going to have to not just play your game, but you're going to have to defend against the other.
So that's it for us for this week. As always, I'm Tico. That's Trilly. If you are on a podcasting app, we would really appreciate it if you left us a rating. And if you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe. We love that. And enjoy this week. The finals are here. There's not a lot of hockey left, so enjoy it while it's here.
Yep. Enjoy it while it's here, because soon we'll be golfing. We'll be soaking up the sun.
That's right, baby.
If you hate anything we said, if you love anything we said, make sure to drop a comment down below. We love hearing your takes. If you have any questions or clips, make sure to send them into any of our channels. We check those regularly. We love to hear from you guys. So yeah, make sure to keep in touch.
That's right. That's all for us, boys. Keep your head up.
Keep your head up. Boom.
Stick talk. Stick talk. Stick talk. Stick talk. Stick talk. Stick talk. Stick talk.